Is up, everybody? Welcome to the debut episode of the Dinger Dudes podcast. My
Yeah.
name is Keith
Woo!
Lambert. I am here with these wonderful gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Jefferson, Chase Jefferson, and the Cardinals fan himself. God bless him, Mr. Jackson Vols.
Hey, unfortunately, you cannot see me right now because I don't have my face cam
That's
on.
really nothing
And no,
unfortunate.
no, no, no. And I knew y'all were gonna say that. I
Some
knew
would
y'all
say
were
it's
gonna
pretty
say that.
fortunate, actually.
That's what you are. You're just not prepared. Like, I got a whole setup here. I got the microphone that just came in. I set this
Hey,
up in like 5 minutes. What's
do you
your
think do you think it's like a coincidence that all the Braves fans are prepared and the one Cardinals fan is the only one that's not
Not a
ready?
coincidence at all because Braves fans are smart, unlike Cardinals fans.
Right.
Mm.
Really sums up their season so far. Very
They're Cardinals
unprepared.
lovers, man.
We are on a 4-game win streak right now.
That's
You
great.
know it's May.
Listen, I will give you guys your props. You guys swept the Orioles. That's
Exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly.
But also at the same time, if I'm being dead legit, and let's just go ahead and get straight into this, I don't think the Cardinals are going to keep this. I don't think y'all are built to be this good for the long haul.
They're not. Here, listen, Jackson, you had this argument earlier. You were trying to say that the Cardinals were catching up to the Braves. I'm saying this right now. The Braves at their worst is better than the Cardinals at their best.
Well, it just goes to show because you can flaunt the win against the Orioles all you want, but then again, you got what they turned to Chicago to play the White Sox and played a terrible series. Despite them winning the actual series, their pitching was abysmal. So that's the kind of pitching staff that y'all went against. But everybody knows that if y'all go up against a top tier pitching staff like Atlanta, y'all don't have the hitters to be able to score any runs. Because you go up against Chris Sale or how Renato Lopez has been this year, it's game over. There's a goose egg on the scoreboard.
Very
Games
honest.
1, 2,
Like,
and 3.
okay, baseball as a whole, I have not seen like obviously there's your teams. You have the Phillies that are just going crazy right now. You have the Royals who just unbelievable, like 30, 34 wins.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Oh,
Like the entire league just feels like nobody's really meeting their expectations. Like, I mean, look, dude, the Astros, what the heck is that?
Woo.
I mean, Dusty Baker, like that is
Dusty Baker
horrible.
was the glue in that team.
I
He was
didn't
the glue,
realize.
bread and butter of that team.
Hey, that just shows how great of a manager Dusty Baker actually was.
Hey, let me
Man,
ask
what-
you this. Let me ask you this, especially for all the Braves fans in the room right now. How are you feeling about Ron Washington in his first couple of months with the Angels as a manager?
I love his I've always loved Ron Washington as a manager, as a
Of
coach
course.
in general.
When he was on the Rangers,
He's got a firm grasp of what it takes to like be a leader.
yeah.
And I love the of what he's been like. What was the quote that he said the other day when it comes to like when the team's not doing good? He just straight up in the press conference just like, when you suck, you don't win games. It's a
Wait, are
simple
you talking about what, like with like the failed drag bunt or whatever? And he was like, he just didn't do
Yeah.
his job. Like plain and simple, he just didn't do
Yeah.
his job. I did mine. He didn't do his.
Hey, and do you know what's one thing I love about Ron Washington? When you see like the Angels have little mound visits, Ron Washington will go out there and he will have an animated and a heart to heart with the starting pitcher right there. And I've never seen a manager go out there do that. But that's just the type of guy Ron Washington was. He was like that in the Texas Rangers. He was obviously like that in Atlanta, and he's like that now in Los Angeles.
I've got one more thing to talk about before we head into our first segment. I know it's not just me. I feel like this is just a cry for every baseball fan in general. But the umpires this year have just been on another tier of embarrassingly
Abysmal. Abysmal.
Way to
One
steal my
word to
vocabulary
describe.
word.
Abysmal. Abominable.
He heard it from me. That's why he's saying it.
I don't
He's
like.
like, ooh, big boy word.
Number one, Bryce Harper, I can't stand him. I love him at the same time because of the great baseball player that he is.
Yeah.
But that thing last night to where the third strike call and he wasn't agreeing with it. It literally looked like he was just having a simple conversation.
He was.
I don't think that was a strike. And then the umpire threw him out for nothing. And like,
what? Okay. So what is crazy? He has the second, no, never mind. He has the most ejections of active players with 28.
Because it's Bryce Harper. He has a temper to his game. But, Steven, I want to ask you this, because this directly points to you. What about that screenshot that you sent in the group chat yesterday of Acuna's at-bat against the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Bro, that was so listen, I was at the Gwinnett game yesterday. I was at the Stripers game.
Okay.
And I'm just watching it on the MLB app. and just all of those pitches, like Acuna just dropped his bat because there was just three, like genuinely, what was he going to do with those pitches? Because he called three of them in that spot. Like the pitcher, he got that first call on the outside. The ball was outside of the zone. He was like, okay, if you're going to call that, I'm just going to throw to it. So credit to the pitcher, but also at the same time, that like you cannot give him three straight calls on the outside of the plate when the balls are in the other batter's box. What's Acuna going to do with that pitch? Just swing at it and just like you're going to strike out anyway.
Hey, speaking of Acuna, I want to get into this fantasy fever segment. Chase, you have Acuna on your fantasy team. I want all of us to talk about our fantasy teams. Chase, you are currently what are you right now? 4-4?
I'm 4-4. Yes, I'm
right. So am I. Steven.
Don't talk about. Actually, you know what? I'm getting the win this week. I'm getting Mr. Schrader, who actually me and him have the same record at 2-6. My fantasy team did enough to get the win this week, so that's good. I'm at 3-6 right now, which Jackson, if you're gonna complain to me, if you're gonna make fun of me, that's only one game behind you, bud. You're 4-4.
I'm about to be 4-5.
Hey, Jackson, can y'all please speak up? Because I can't hear you from all the way at the top in the league. You know
what is you're chatting about?
You're so far down there. I need y'all to speak up so the noise can elevate. Because
Jackson,
man, I'm tied with Gavin Ellis from Wolf Sports Network of the University of West Georgia. But guess what? I'm currently up in the matchup, the final day of this week's matchup against Gavin. I'm currently up 277 to 260. That is a nice 27-point cushion. And my man, Ryan Weathers from the Miami Marlins, I literally just picked him up today, scored a 22-point outing against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he posted up 7 strikeouts in 6 innings and only gave up 4 hits. So I just want to point that out. Thank you,
Jackson.
Ryan Weathers.
Jackson, you led off this segment pointing at me talking about Ronald Acuna. Let me give my defense on him. Ronald Acuna, though he can't hit a fastball to save his life right now, his contact has been horrible. He's still the 8th best in his position fantasy-wise. And I saw a statistic on Instagram today that he has made better contacts, like percentage-wise, on the fastball this past series against Pittsburgh than he has this whole season, which is a good sign because you look at the game last night, he went, 0 for 4, but all 4 of his outs were hard-hit outs. Like, they could have been base hits. The infield just playing incredible. Then, of course, he had that 3-run bomb that he launched in that first game of the series. So Acuna was starting to have a little upside to his game. But now, of course, we saw that he injured his knee. But here's the good news about Acuna. The Braves just released that he's only going on the 10-day IL. He is only going on the 10-day IL.
He actually had an interview saying that this injury it's nothing like the one in 2021 where he was out for the rest of the year. He said it was like the one in 2018 to where he strained his knee and he was out for like a month. So
that's what he said. He said
the
Braves are only putting him on the 10-day IL though.
Like getting him back in like July or something, I would be fine with that. I just don't want to lose him for the rest of the year.
Right.
But but it's important that you mention that now because when Acuna went down in the first inning today, we saw, Jared Kelenic take the reign at right field. And that points to the great Alex Anthopoulos ownership that we have, or general manager that we have, because that now proves to be a very crucial pickup for Atlanta because now we have a reliable guy to cover. And he's also a great defender. His batting may be average, but he's got some great defense to his game. So I think we can hold our own with that outfield until Acuna comes back, like you said, in about a month. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting time in Atlanta, though.
Well, I want to talk. Hold on. Go, Chase.
Well, I was just going to throw in real quick. That's something the Braves have always had since Alex is our GM, was he stacked the lineup. We always had great depth. And that's why with the absence of Acuna, we can still have Duvall, like you said, Kelenic, both in the outfield at the same time. We know Kelenic has great upside to his game. His potential is there. We know Duvall can wreck the ball. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Acuna's return, we're not hurting for outfielders.
Hey, speaking of outfielders, speaking of upside, you know who I thought had the upside when I drafted him number 22 overall in our league?
Please tell.
Wait, who were you talking about? Steven?
Is it Julio Rodriguez?
Julio Rodriguez. Yes. There is a reason why I've had to go to the waiver wires. He's averaged. Let me look at this. I know we were all talking about when we were talking about Sports Out of Pocket, we were talking about AL MVPs, NL MVPs, and Julio Rodriguez's name was brought up a lot for the AL MVP. He's averaging 1.1 average points. And he has 3 homers, 15 RBIs, a 252 average on the season.
Today, man. 14 points.
14 points today, but that wasn't enough to get me the win against Wyatt.
Can we talk about you losing to Wyatt, who's 1-7, literally the worst player in the league? Or I think Christian is actually the worst player in the league.
Christian's worse than Wyatt.
But it's still very embarrassing.
Wyatt has a pretty good team.
With me and Jackson
sitting on
a
paper.
couple of like I said, he has Bueller and he has Assad and Nola for his 3, top pitchers.
And he has Yu Darvish there too, who's not doing too bad.
Christian Yelich has been a pleasant surprise, and he's also on the team.
Max Fried being on the bench, that's crazy.
Hey, can I like exploit my displeasure about this league real quick?
Yeah.
Why is there a pitching max? Have y'all gone to?
What is that about? I don't know what that is.
Commissioner, I don't know how to change that. Somebody literally has to tell me how to go.
Well, it actually makes a lot.
What is a pitcher max?
It makes a lot of sense because basically if you use too many pitchers within the week, then it maxes out. So that way, if let's say you max out on Friday, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, no matter how many points your pitchers put up, you don't get those points counted towards your score. But it's a good thing because it prevents people from going into free agency every single day and loading their pitchers just so they can get, positive points and gain up on somebody. So it's actually a really good thing to have in your league. Well, but it's the first I've heard of it.
I guess that's fair, but I will say, me myself, I am guilty of meandering into the waiver wire from time to time and getting a couple pitchers to add for that day. But I haven't been doing it a whole lot. But I did screw myself today because I reached the pitchers max, and guess where I'm pitching today? Kyle Bradish, who had a no-no through 7 innings and gave me 30 points. That is 30 points I've missed out today, and now there's no chance that I catch up to Brendan. So I'm dropping a 4 or 5 with you, Jackson.
Yeah,
I'm catching up to you guys, man.
Hey, man,
3-6.
Hey, man, what's disappointing is Justin Steele in his debut. Another disappointing guy on my team. His debut, he dropped 14, 12 points, something like that. And ever since he came back, -5, 7, 5. He's 0-2 with 23 strikeouts and a 5.68 ERA.
In my opinion, the guy that we have to sit here and take a look at, it's just because of the people that he has on his team. It's not you, Andrew. It's Jason Barker.
Jason Barker.
Barker has, and it's his pitching rotation. Even though Kyle Tucker, who I could have gotten in the first round of the draft, but I went with Zach Wheeler, who I'm not disappointed with at all. But I mean, Framber Valdez, Joe Musgrove, Bednar, Kikuchi.
That's Christian, not Jason Barker.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. That's what I was. My bad. Yamamoto, Christian Javier, Joe Ryan, Luis Castillo, Chris Sale. Chris Sale has just been putting up numbers week to week.
Yeah, I can't believe I turned
a clutch grab from Mr. Jason Barker. And the fact that he has Corbin Burns on his bench is actually mind-blowing.
Hey, Steven, do you know where he got Chris Sale and Corbin Burns from?
Did he trade with you?
Me. I gave him Chris Sale and Corbin Burns for William Contreras.
Do you want to know what's wild?
And Paul Blackburn.
No. You want to know what's wild? It makes me so mad.
What?
Earlier, before school ended, Jason offered me a package with Jesus Luzardo, Chris Sale, and George Springer for Manny Machado and Julio Rodriguez.
You missed out on that.
That's tough stuff right there, man.
And this was before Chris Sale was going off. I love Chris Sale. I've loved Chris Sale since Chicago.
I was going to send. I don't know if I might still offer him this deal. So if Barker listens to this later, Mr. Barker, I'm thinking of offering him an Austin Riley package if he still wants Austin Riley. But he has Alex Bregman, and he also has. I think he still has Machado. I'm not sure.
But Jason Barker has Nolan sitting at third right now, but Nolan's underperformed this year.
In the bench.
Right.
So I don't know, but he said he's talked to me about wanting to get Austin Riley in the future. So I was like, what if I offer him a package to where I just go, hey, if you give me Alex Bregman along with one of your starters, you can have Austin Riley
So let's
because
talk. Well,
I want
yeah, you got
somebody
it.
off this. Corbin Burns, bro, I need that man right now. I need
Well,
that.
Well, hold
actually,
on. Well, let me chime in just really quick, just while we're on the subject about Jason Barker and pitching, because a keynote trade that I made literally within the first 2 weeks of the season involved me handing him over Mookie Betts. And I gave him Mookie Betts and Jake Cronenworth, and it transferred over to me, Freddie Freeman. I want y'all to know who won. I want y'all's opinion on who won this trade, because I think it panned out amazing for me, because not only did I get the best first baseman in all of Major League Baseball, I got a rising star on the mound in Chicago. We all know his name.
Shota
Imanaga.
Imanaga.
Tell me how amazing this rookie pitcher has been and how much he's impacted my team. Let me tell you this is just how he's performed within the last few games. His dominance really started back in April the 26th when he pitched against Boston, put up 20 points for me. The very next week, dominated the Mets with 7 strikeouts, gave me 26. And then he's been on a consistent tear, giving me at least 23 points every single performance. Even against Atlanta, well, Atlanta was his worst outing. He gave me 13 points. But for that to be your worst outing as a rookie pitcher, that's just like mind-blowing to me. So, I mean, Mookie Betts, he's probably going to win the National MVP, but screw Mookie, dude. Give me Freeman and Imanaga every single day.
I think Ohtani. I still think Ohtani.
He's a designated hitter
the National League MVP.
For National League MVP. He's
What?
up. He right now he's in the.
I don't know if a National League MVP is gonna, like, I'm sorry, y'all said which one's gonna be the MVP?
Well, I said Mookie Betts. Jackson chimed in and said Ohtani, which I think you can't put him
As
over
of
Mookie.
right now, you have to kind of give it to Mookie because he's been playing like the overall, like you said. I mean, Otani's not playing in the field or doing it. He's hitting.
Well, talk
for
about
that
his
reason,
defensive
it has
game.
to be Mookie. For that reason, it has to be
He
Mookie.
moved from the outfield to shortstop, and he's been absolutely perfecting that position.
He has. He has killed it.
It's been kind of insane, and I'll go give this to a throwback since we're moving into the MVP conversation. I've got to give a shout out to Fernando Tatis. I feel like the offensive numbers could be a lot better, but look,
Andrew,
I will give you the shout out, but let's be
Juan Soto
Juan Soto's having the better season.
Well, Juan
obviously.
Soto is clearing the AL
Yeah,
MVP
so I mean,
right now.
Andrew, so Chase still won that debate,
Ooh.
but
Oh, 100%.
I did.
I mean, watch out for Gunnar Henderson out of Baltimore for AL MVP.
He's not Juan Soto
not
level, but
Juan Soto levels. I mean, Juan
No.
Soto, he's the clear favorite by
Gunnar-
far.
yeah, I
Unless
know.
somebody can pick it up and get to like where he's at right now.
Yeah.
There's nobody. Actually, you know what? Aaron Judge has actually been making a case. The last couple of weeks, Aaron Judge is all of a sudden. This is looking like 2021 Aaron Judge when he broke the record.
Yeah.
He's 3 home runs away from 20, and he's batting almost a 300.
Well, he's so consistent now. He's seeing the ball so well, better than he's ever had.
And the fact that like both of them are on the same team, that tells you why the Yankees have the best record in the major league.
Absolutely.
I think the Phillies still do, but
you see what Giancarlo Stanton is doing? Y'all see what Giancarlo Stanton is doing?
Listen, I got him on my other team in the other league that we're on. Giancarlo's been getting back to his form. But like I said, the two guys that have just been carrying this Yankees team, or at least been propelling them to success, you got to start with Juan Soto and Mr. Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been ridiculous for him.
I'm going to make a reach real quick, okay? This is something that I've been, studying the last few weeks because it's very fascinating to me because this is a team that is under the radar right now for obvious reasons. But I think within the next 5 years, they're going to be one of the most dominant pitching teams in the MLB. And that's the Washington Nationals because they're doing something. The way they're approaching their rebuild is a strategy that I think every single MLB team needs to take note of because they're not going out there and making trades for these young guys or grabbing them off the free agent market. They're sticking straight to their farm system. And the young talent they have in that starting rotation is ridiculous because they're pitching like they've been former all-stars in the league for 5+ years. and they just got a lot of crazy stuff. And the Braves are about to take on the Nationals starting tomorrow, actually. And I'm very interested to see how we perform against those pitchers that we know nothing about.
God, this was a good sign today. I hope the Braves can be able to get this series win. But
Yep.
I feel like now is a good time to move into the next segment of our podcast, which is Dream Team.
And
so
the
Mr.
rules.
Jackson Bowles, yeah, go ahead and go over
I
the
will
rules.
explain Dream Team. Dream Team, just like a fantasy draft, just like a dream lineup. Today's Dream Team, we will be drafting our lineups, the best players from the 2010s MLB decade. I feel like it's right. Should we go? Who we should have determined the order. We should have honestly determined the order before.
Well,
Let's just go oldest to youngest.
Let's go
Oldest to
oldest to
youngest.
youngest. Let's do it
Oldest
a
to
snake
youngest. All right.
snake
I love
snake.
that.
Wait,
Yeah.
are we doing a snake draft?
Yeah, snake draft. Always
Snake draft? Okay.
Yeah.
I turned
'Cause we
26.
love
this
snakes
year,
on dinger dudes.
so-
Hey, 2010s decade, y'all. Think deep.
Okay, so what's the range? I'm sorry, what's the range of players that we're looking for?
So just any
From 2010s to 2019, who had like the best and the stats from counting during the 2010s.
So what are
listen
we?
to-
What
so
are we
you-
picking? I'm sorry, Jackson. Which position are we picking, or what are we doing?
We're doing a whole lineup from catcher to pitcher,
Catcher,
Well,
pitcher.
including plus a DH, one pitcher.
yes, plus a DH and just one starting pitcher. Just one starting pitcher.
All right. Okay. Well,
Somebody
gentlemen,
write this down.
I got it on my notepad. I got
we're
my
talking
team
about
right now.
any player after 2010. So that's like 2010 to current. Is that what we're doing?
No.
Oh, we're
No,
just
no,
doing
no,
the
no.
2010s.
Just
Like
the
their
2010s
stats
decade.
during the 2010s.
Best players of the 2010s
Just-
decade. So
just the
think of
best
them in their
players from-
prime during the 2010 era.
Turn the clock back a little bit.
Wow. All right.
Not too far back to Stevens' day, but
that's Jackson's
Hey, that
line,
wasn't.
man.
That's my line, man.
That's Jackson's line.
I had to steal from your pal. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was actually, in my Cartoon Network era where y'all were still,
Hey,
in
I
your
was a Nickelodeon kid, man.
diapers.
Dude, SpongeBob and Thomas the Train all freaking day, dude.
Drake and Josh, man, was like my teenage peak.
No, I was
Bro.
talking about like childhood, but yeah.
Bro, give
well.
me Courage the Cowardly Dog and Billy and Mandy and all that stuff. That
That's
was
who you're drafting number one overall.
Courage the
That's a-
Cowardly Dog.
that's an
It's a
L
sleeper.
pick.
Dog.
That's an
It's a
L pick,
sleeper.
buddy.
Whoa. First
Courage
off,
the Cowardly Dog at catcher.
Courage the Cowardly Dog
Mid.
is not an L pick. That's actually crazy.
No,
That's
Mid.
Steven, that's a dub. Steven,
insane.
I'm right with you. That's
ridiculous. You don't know
That's
good
mid.
cartoons.
Oh, I know a good cartoon.
All right, Steven, who's your number one pick?
Oh man. All right. So if we're going back to the 2010 era, are we just doing the year 2010? I just want to make
No,
sure.
2010s, like 2010 to
Decade.
2019.
So
decade.
then we're
Just-
gonna go. Man, this is tough. But I'm gonna. You know what? Just because he's on my mind, I'm my number one overall pick, and I'm gonna get so much crap for this.
For
Bryce
number-
Harper,
Ooh, for your number
honestly,
one pick?
pick.
young Bryce Harper coming up. Yeah, let's go.
Nationals Bryce Harper. I see
All
that.
right, Andrew, you're up next.
This is very easy, and if the fact that you didn't
Yeah.
take this man off the board is insane. It's got to be Mike Trout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Trout.
I knew you were
Mike
gonna do
Trout
that.
would have been my pick.
I'm putting him at center field. I don't know if we're getting that specific, but just point that out there.
Trout would have been my pick too.
Should have been everyone's pick. All right.
All right, Chase, who's your pick?
You know who I'm going? And
Who?
I am putting this guy in my designated hitter spot.
Yeah.
Let me give you a drum roll. Let me give you a drum roll.
Give me Big Poppy David Ortiz
Ooh,
at the designated hitter spot.
I really-
That's a good pick.
that is an amazing pick. And this guy was on my mind since the number one pick. And I wrote it down. Unfortunately, I don't have a face cam. I would put it like, have y'all seen Draft Day?
Yeah.
Who hasn't seen draft day?
All right.
But how is this translating to draft?
That's
day?
that. Yes.
I'm putting this guy at my first baseman spot. Give me Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah.
Give me
I-
Miguel
I-
Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown winner. Honestly, he's
Okay.
up there.
I don't
He's
get the
amazing.
draft day reference though.
Yeah.
All
me
right.
neither. You just kind of threw that out there.
Yeah.
What?
All right. This guy I am putting in for my second pick. Give me my third baseman. Give me Mr. Adrian Beltre.
I like that pick.
So I got Cabrera and Beltre at the corners.
All right, so that leaves me next, and I gotta represent. Shout out to the Florida State baseball team. Represent, baby, at the catcher
Buster
position, Buster Posey, baby.
That
See,
is honestly, it's a great pick.
Y'all are tripping though. Y'all are doing this all wrong. What establishes an amazing team? You can have all the best offensive wonders in the world all you want, but if you're not getting a guy on the mound that dominates every single appearance, that's what makes a good team. So
There's
I'm
so
going
many-
pitcher. I'm going
It's
pitcher.
a whole decade. You know how many gems there are we can
But there's
pick from?
one that stands alone, my friend. There's one that stands alone.
There's not one that stands.
Actually,
alone.
there's two that I'm thinking of. It's got to be Clayton Kershaw. It's got to be Clayton Kershaw.
L second pick. L second
Clayton
pick.
Kershaw
That's not
in
an
the-
L's second pick. I like
Clayton Kershaw in the early
2010s.
2000s was the most dominant
I was
pitcher we have seen to
I was
date.
thinking of him.
Give
Listen,
me Clayton Kershaw, man.
I would
Yeah.
like to go ahead and just like give y'all a I'm pissed off that y'all sitting there crapping on the y'all realize that this is the Bryce Harper from like the entire decade, right? Like
Right,
The
yeah.
first
like,
pick,
the
though.
He's going to be a top 5 player by the end of the decade. Like,
I mean, he's an MVP. I'm not hating
Yeah.
on him.
I'm not hating on it.
all right. So who's next? Who's next?
You are.
So you
I'm
are,
next.
Steven.
All right. So I'm gonna go outfield on this next one. And you know what? I just thought of him. And shout out to Mr. Pirates fan himself, Mr. Brandon Willoughby Ray. I'm gonna go
Yep.
Andrew McCutcheon.
Good pick.
Good pick. And that, you're putting in at what position? Oh, outfield, obviously.
Well, yeah, we're just gonna go 3 outfielders. I'm not gonna do. I'm just,
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess it's my turn now, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know.
wait, wouldn't it be
man.
mine?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
Steven
stay
goes
track.
again.
You're right. You're right.
Let's look at. You know what? Since we're going, I'm thinking about adding a third baseman, and I think I might tick off Jackson with this one, but I think I'm gonna go Nolan Arenado.
Okay.
That is an amazing pick,
It
Steven.
is. It is.
But I drafted
We're
Beltre,
talking
so I'm not
2010s.
mad.
We're talking 2010s Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
You're talking like I mean,
Arenado's not having a bad season this season.
ridiculous. He's not, but he's still not going to be better than Chipper by the end of his career.
Okay. Well,
We've already had that.
Hey, that's a debate we do need to have on Dinger Dudes though, because we
Yeah.
will get. You talk about getting fired up, but
Yeah.
anyways,
And
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna.
bring in a guest speaker to back up the case that Chipper is better.
So I have a dominant outfield, arguably, well, not arguably, the greatest 2010 player in that decade, Mike Trout. I got my starting pitcher established. I want my infield to be elite offensively and on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Jose Altuve for my second baseman.
Ah!
Jose,
Give me-
that's a great
I
pick.
know Jackson.
Dang it, that's who I wanted.
I'm taking
Hey,
your ancestors. I'm taking your
But
ancestors.
I've
away.
got another second baseman that I'm trying. Let's see if
All
let's
right,
see if
all
we're on
right.
the same
Hey.
wavelength.
All right,
Hey.
I'm on. All right, it's my pick. It is.
No, I'm next. I'm older
wait.
than you, bud.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah,
about that.
child. Shut up, child.
That's
The
Yeah,
grown-ups
right.
are talking.
Youngin,
Oh wait, I do
Respect-
have another second baseman on my mind. Hold
even
up.
drink yet.
Hey, listen.
You should have a lot of second basemans on your mind.
Hey, so far I have David Ortiz
Uh-huh.
and Buster Posey. What's
Uh-huh.
like the pattern y'all see here? It's power. I have a lot of power at the plate, and I'm about to add even more power. Do you remember what Miami Gonzalo Stanton did?
Mm.
64 home runs. I'm adding him to my outfield.
All right. That
Gonzalez Stanton,
honestly, that is honestly a great pick.
That's
There's
great
a guy I want at second baseman. Steven, y'all, it might be a little reach for my third overall pick.
Okay.
But give me prime Robinson Cano.
Yeah, that was my next pick.
Give me-
That was my next pick.
Have him. I got
If,
another.
look, if it wasn't Jose Altuve, it was going to be Robinson Cano, actually. So that's actually a really good pick. In my
Robinson Cano's my pick, but I'm gonna go pitcher here. Honestly, there was so many great pitchers, so many. We got guys like I'm not even gonna say, but my pitcher, multi-time Cy Young winner, current pitcher for the Houston Astros. Give me Justin Verlander.
I was between Kershaw and Verlander for me.
Give me Justin Verlander.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do, fellas?
Wait, it is your pick. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw.
Oh wait,
out
no,
the-
wait. Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna establish my outfield a little more, and I'm gonna throw it back to the Boston Red Sox version of Mookie Betts.
No, dude, that's what I was gonna take.
About to add
Screw
into
you,
my
Chase.
outfield, add a lot of consistency to my bats.
Screw you, Chase. Okay. Okay.
All right, Andrew, you got it.
Okay,
Since I
so
stole Mookie from you.
man, okay. So I could. Okay, I'm gonna go and establish the first base position, I guess. Man, there's two that I'm bouncing back and forth. There's not Freddie Freeman for those who are wondering. I know if we're talking about 2010s, there's one that was more dominant at the plate, in my opinion. Not as good defensively.
You talking about first baseman?
If we're talking about 2010s,
You got it. If it's not who I think you are, then I don't understand it.
I'm going Joey Votto.
Hey, I love the pick.
All right. Cool.
I love the pick.
You know what?
I
love that pick.
We're talking. Okay, honestly, I can't go wrong when it comes to because I'm going first baseman right here as well. It's between Goldschmidt and Freeman for me.
Those are the best two that are still available for sure.
There's another one you are forgetting about.
You're talking about Anthony Rizzo.
Nope.
Or
Rizzo would be a great pick, but don't.
Not for these players. He was more in his prime.
Era is not some guy. Is not.
I already know who my next pick's gonna be.
So I'm gonna.
It's not your pick, so we don't care.
Because in this decade, I believe he actually won the MVP, if I'm not mistaken, 2019. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh,
Didn't it?
2021.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was 2021. It wasn't.
But Goldschmidt. But this is D-backs Goldschmidt. So honestly, that's a great pick.
It's still a good pick. It's still like
Goldschmidt.
He's
a really good pick.
Yeah,
he's a slugger, you know. And in my opinion, Freddie Freeman really got into his own in we prime Freddie Freeman until like 2018, 2019.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. 100%.
All right. Well, Andrew,
so now I got to go pitcher here.
Oh wait, I forgot snake draft.
And has anybody picked Max Scherzer off the board?
No.
Max Scherzer's coming
Max
up.
Scherzer's a great pick. When he played in Detroit, when he played in Washington, and
all right,
I can't wait.
I'm making my way back. I'm making up a good team.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna surprise some of y'all with my pick here because I'm thinking now he's obviously a great hitter. A lot of these, pretty much everybody on this list is gonna be good at the plate, but I'm thinking more defensively here for a shortstop position. Give me
I know who you're going with. It's in my mind. It's in my mind.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell y'all who I'm debating. It's either Francisco Lindor or Troy Tulowitzki. Those are my two picks right now. But if we're talking about 2010 era, I'm gonna have to go Francisco Lindor. So give me
Troy Tulowitzki is Aurora, man.
Yeah, but give me Francisco Lindor. I think I have to make that pick if we're talking about this decade alone.
All right, Chase, who's your next pick?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and a bunch of the big first basemen in the 2010s era are pretty much out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and snag the next one up. Give me my boy Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's a great pick. You took Francisco Lindor, right?
Yep, for my shortstop.
But
Troy Tulowitzki would have been a good one, man.
I'm gonna go outfield here. Honestly, he was nasty. He was known for getting dropped by Rougned Odor. Give me Jose Bautista. Give me Jose Bautista.
Do y'all remember the Braves version of Jose Bautista?
Oh,
that was a fever dream.
So was Yasiel Puig.
Listen, two players in the 2010s that were fever dreams: Matt Kemp and Jose Bautista.
You remember Brandon Phillips?
Brandon Phillips, dude. Brandon Phillips was a dog with us.
I love Brandon Phillips, man. I love that guy.
We also had Bartolo Colon and who was the other
Big
pitcher?
Sexy.
Who was the other pitcher we had from the Blue Jays? R.A. Dickey.
Yep.
R.A. Dickey.
Right.
You remember? I'm gonna sidetrack just like 5 seconds. You remember when Bartolo Colon was in Atlanta? And I don't know if y'all remember this, but I was listening to the radio broadcast. I was driving home from church on a Sunday, I believe, and it was like a hot early day at 1 o'clock, and Bartolo Colon was sweating bullets. And I remember the commentator said that they're asking why he was sweating so much, and they're like, I haven't seen a guy like Bartol Colon sweat this much since the Braves hired a nutritionist or something. Like they always took fat jokes because they also said something about him eating sunflower seeds, and the other guys I know those are bacon bits, and I'm like, leave my boy alone.
My God.
Yeah.
All right, with my second pick in this round, ooh, it's really tough. I'm gonna have to go with shortstop, and yeah, give me Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Troy Tulowitzki.
I hate to see him go because I really want him, but I can't pass up on
Troy,
him.
Troy's a great player. He was a great
I
player.
gotta
I hate New York Met version of Francisco Lindor, by the way.
He's not good. He's terrible. But I got a sleeper coming up for my shortstop pick.
Okay.
But Steven or Andrew, you're on the board.
No, Chase,
Oh, yeah.
it's you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm
Jackson
sleeping. Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. You know what? Before I get my shortstop, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna grab the pitcher who had tons of attitude. You said Clayton Kershaw had attitude. You knew had even more attitude. He was even a dog at the plate. Madison Bumgarner.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Madison Bumgarner was, in my opinion, debatably the best pitcher in the 2010s era.
It's not that. It's just why are you bringing up his hitting if we have a designated hitter for a reason?
I'm just saying that's just an added bonus to his game.
I'm gonna go with a guy like Jacob deGrom personally, but
all right, Andrew, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go meander down. I guess I'm gonna go and get my designated hitter out of the way. Give me Nelson Cruz for my.
I know I drafted Madison Bumgarner.
I just drafted Nelson Cruz. That's the last thing we talked about.
All right, so Steven's
It would be me. Okay.
Or Steven, how many people do you have?
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have 6.
I have 6.
I have 6 as well.
All right, so
Steven, you do 2
I have
picks in the row.
back-to-back picks. So let me go ahead and it's probably going to end up being a pitcher, and let me look at shortstop. Let me go ahead. I got my shortstop in mind. I'm going to go prime Carlos Correa.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That's
Carlos
actually.
I actually did not. I didn't have him on my options.
That's a World Series champion, and I know. Listen, get it. I understand the cheating allegations. I feel like even in 2021, he was playing like without that whole stuff going on. Carlos Correa is still an incredible.
It's a valid pick.
Yeah.
It's a valid pick.
You're right.
All right, Steven, you're up.
Okay, now I got to go pitchers. Give me like 2 seconds. I have to. I have my little like sheet here that I'm looking at.
There's 2 good pitchers that I was considering. That's still on
you
my
had Max
board.
Scherzer.
Brissell. I mean,
Zach Greinke.
Are we only doing one pitcher?
Yeah, we're only doing one pitcher.
just one.
Then all right, cool. Then I'm gonna go second baseman. Then oh crap, I had a second baseman in mind. Hold on.
Don't take him.
Have you not drafted a second baseman yet, Chase?
I have not.
Because the only 2 off the board are
I'm sorry.
Altuve and Cano.
I'm not going to take the guy you're thinking of because this is just a personal, like, I love the way he played the game. And I love, like, in my opinion, he was the heart and soul of the team at the time. I'm going to go Dustin Pedroia.
Ooh, and he was on my board.
I had him on my board. I had him under Ian Kinsler because Ian Kinsler's also really good.
You're the only one not to draft a second baseman, Chase.
Oh, okay. Then I'm taking Ian Kinsler. Spoiler alert.
Well, it's Andrew's pick.
It's my pick, dummy.
I'm just letting you know now.
Okay, well, I gotta get a guy behind the batter, that can catch Clayton Kershaw's heat and be dominant at the plate at the same time. Give me Yadier Molina.
I heard Jackson whimpering.
He was whimpering like a dog, like Chase's ex-girlfriend.
Did he pick your catch?
Hey, this is our podcast. I'm okay if you say that.
Yeah, it's okay if you say that.
Hey, this is our podcast. I can't say what I want to say, Andrew, because we get in legal trouble.
I know, Jackson. I know you have an emotional attachment.
All right, I do. Yachty, I really wanted you on my team, and he was going to be my next pick, but I felt like I needed to
stop talking to my players. Stop talking sexual to my players.
Hey, y'all, Jackson, you go ahead and draft. I already told y'all I'm taking Ian Kinsler.
He's going
that
Ian
is
Kinsler
Aurora right there.
All
Ian
right.
Kinsler is Aurora.
All right. Well, I need another outfielder because I don't really know who I'd take at catcher. Because actually, I do have somebody I'd take at catcher. But I want my outfielder first. Give me Ryan Braun. Milwaukee Brewers, Ryan Braun.
Okay.
And then
Good pick.
I have an outfielder, I have a DH, and I have a catcher spot left. There is a catcher that I want. Am I going to go him? No. Give me.
Are you gonna go him?
We hope you don't know him, but whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
DH. You know what? This is a
Do I need to
guy
give you
that
a
y'all are
general?
sleeping on. This is a guy that y'all are sleeping on. At DH, Edwin Encarnacion.
Hey, I had him on my board. Good pick, boy.
Give me Edwin Encarnacion.
Toronto.
He was gonna be my pick if Nelson Cruz was taken.
All right, so that.
Oh
leaves
wait,
me now.
Steven's all hyped because he doesn't.
Why?
I just got my DH. I just got my DH.
Hey.
It just
Oh,
mine, and
I know who it is. I know who it is. I'm not gonna say it, but
I know who it
it's
is.
obvious. It's a very obvious pick, and I can't believe that I didn't think of it.
I don't think it is. I really don't. I don't think it is. I don't think it's obvious. I think like what it's in my head right now.
Did he play for 2 teams?
He's a slugger. He's a very big slugger.
Did he
I
play
will-
Okay,
for
it's
2 teams?
got to be who we're thinking of. It's got to be who we're thinking of.
Steven, is he an outfielder?
No, he's talking about catchers, dummy.
DH.
Get with the
Fucking
program. Oh, but DH. Sorry, DH, not catchers. DH. Get with the
But-
program,
but-
buddy.
We're
But
talking, we're talking a guy that should have been DH if he wasn't like. Just wait till I make my pick. Who's got?
I think I know who it is.
I know who it is.
So Steven, is
Who's
his
got the
position-
Andrew, text me.
Steven,
Text me.
is his picture solely DH? Like, is his position
DH.
solely
My
DH?
DH.
Andrew, text me
And I
who
don't
you
think
think
he's
it
on-
is.
I'm texting you right now, Jackson.
I don't think he's off
Okay.
the board yet.
I gotta look at
Well,
Jackson.
I'm thinking of going outfielder here. I need to sustain
Go
my
out.
final outfielder.
Please.
I'll tell you who I'm choosing between.
All right, Jackson.
Lamont-
Is that the guy you're thinking of?
Lorenzo Kane. Lorenzo
No, it
Kane is
actually
who I
wasn't.
want to take.
Oh yeah.
But would it be bad to take young Christian Yelich?
Listen. He was on my board. Like
No.
he's
He's on my board too. He's pretty deep. He's pretty down.
You
the
know
bottom.
another guy, and it's just because he won the MVP. But we're talking about like prime players here. Is anybody mention Cody Bellinger?
He's not on my board. He's
He's
actually
not on
not on
my
my
board.
board.
Wait, so
what?
who just drafted?
Who'd
I'm
you
drafting-
pick, Chase?
I'm drafting right now. I'm buying the bullet. Give me young Christian Yelich.
All right,
Oh.
that's good.
All
I have
fine.
my another outfielder though.
All right, I gotta establish the rest of my infield. I gotta go third baseman. Just loved his time in Atlanta, but loved him even more in Toronto. Give me Josh
I know you're
Donaldson.
talking about
Josh Donaldson's a
Josh
great pick.
Donaldson at third base. You gotta love it. All right, so
the
this
bringer
is
of rain, they called him.
this is
Steven.
me now. All right, so for the DH, you guys know that we just made the videos on the home run derby like master classes. And guys
I know
that
who it is now.
sit there and be incredible. Brother, if you do not put Prince Fielder in
I
that
called it. I
Prince
texted
Fielder.
Andrew.
You know who I thought it was, Steven? I thought you were talking about Albert Pujols. That's why I said he played for 2 teams.
No,
That's who
listen,
I
if we're talking about like early 2000s, like we're talking like 2006 to 2009,
It makes
like
sense.
Cardinals,
It makes
Albert
sense.
Pujols. Yeah, absolutely. He's probably one of
Prince
my first
Fielder, early 2010s to
Prince
2016
Fielder,
when he
early
retired.
2010s.
He was
We're
gonna be
talking
my
about
pick, but I
big
felt
dog.
like
You know the All-Star
Encarnacion.
game. You're talking about, man, if the neck injury didn't get him, we're talking about one of the best hitters in baseball, dude. Like
No,
he was
now that you
a
now that you say it, it makes sense.
He hit
Yeah,
the greatest
that's my-
triple in
It-
MLB history.
My pick was either Encarnacion or Prince Fielder, but the thing is,
Fielder at my DH.
Encarnacion played from 2010 to 2019. Fielder's last year was like 2015. But
But think about early
Makes sense,
2010s. Think
Early
about early
2010s.
2010s.
2011, 2012, dude.
Yeah.
Prince Fielder was a dog.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know on the Tigers.
All
All
right,
right,
Steven, you got another pick
all right,
on your
Andrew,
hands.
you're up.
But Steven's got another pick.
Wait,
Does he not?
Steven goes again.
Oh wait, yeah.
I think I have an outfielder that's left. So is Yelich off the board?
Yeah, Christian.
Yeah,
not
Chase
went
Yelich,
Christian
Chase
Yelich.
took him.
You can get Lorenzo Kane or JD Martinez.
JD Martinez is actually not a bad
Let-
pick.
It's
Actually,
not.
to finish off,
There's
my,
two guys
like-
I'm thinking of.
I know this is a guy that I feel like a lot of people are actually kind of sleeping on, and this is just because I feel like he's like in his prime. The man was like
Hold
incredible.
on, can I guess, Steven? Did he solely play for an American League team?
Steven, pick me. Can I guess?
Yeah, he solely played for an American League.
I know
team.
who you're talking
This
about.
an outfielder.
Dang it!
We're talking about center fielder actually.
Hey.
Dang it!
Don't make me go.
I'm talking about no, Jackson. It's not who you think it is. I'm going Adam Jones.
That's who I was thinking.
Hey, he's
That was gonna be my
Jones
pick.
is on my board.
That was gonna be my pick.
Adam Jones.
Adam Jones is on my board.
That
All right,
was gonna
boys.
be my pick.
All I have left are 2 more outfield positions. I know y'all aren't going specific, but I went specific, like center field, left field, right field. So I know just for my sake, I'm going right. I'm putting this man in my right field spot. Give me Jason Hayward.
Love it. Love it. We're talking like prime, like 2016. Bro, I will never forget that call when he hit the home run in his first at bat. And there's a drive. Deep right field. Welcome
All right.
to the show.
Chip Carey, man. I miss that voice.
Chase.
Oh, Jason Hayward.
I actually went to the same high school as Jason.
I heard he had to go call another team, but I don't know. Nobody pays attention to that team anyway, so who cares?
Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't even pay attention to the team himself.
All right,
The
Chase, who's your
viewership has
pick?
dropped. Okay,
The best offseason pickup the Calls have ever had. by the way.
Chase, who's your
Yeah.
pick?
So I'm going in the infield. I have a third baseman and a shortstop left. Throwing it back, man. Do y'all remember Tampa Bay?
Please throw it back.
Evan Longoria, man.
Ooh.
Dude, I love that man. He was one of my favorite players watching growing up.
All right. Jackson, go ahead, Jackson.
Adam Jones was my pick for my outfield. I have an outfield and a catcher.
There's still two. There's two great outfielders that are like.
There's 2 I'm debating between.
Two that are on
One
my
was a
mind.
National
Carlo.
League. One, no, John Carlo's still there. He's
Yeah,
gone.
he's
Yeah,
on
no,
my
Jack
team.
Hart's-
He's gone.
Yeah, he's taking.
Stanton's on my team.
There is 2. They both played in the NL West mainly.
NL West mainly.
Wait, what position?
I know
was
you-
it?
Hold on. Does anybody else have an outfielder left?
Yes,
No.
I do, and
I
I have
don't.
two.
Catcher's
I have
the only one that's left for me.
All right.
I have two
have
that
a
I'm
catcher.
debating, Jackson, and
All
I think
right.
you might take. I think you might take him.
I'm staring at Andrew because I'm debating between the 2. They are really, really good.
Dude, There's one that I value more above the other, and I'm really hoping you don't take him here. I think it's a sleeper.
Give me-
Though. I think it's kind of.
Give me. All right, I'm gonna go my catcher first.
Oh, thank you.
And then
I
I have
just
my
exploded.
outfielder pick. Give me Russell
Shout out to
Martin.
Vernon.
Do y'all remember
Russell Martin?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Russell Martin?
He actually wasn't on my board.
An outfielder.
Listen,
I love both of these guys so much, and it's gonna be so mad.
Don't take him. Don't take him.
Give me
Please don't.
Justin Upton.
Okay. Okay. That's not.
Ooh.
That's not any of the 2 guys that I was thinking of.
Be
Actually.
fair,
Not-
Justin Upton. I respect what he did for the Braves. He was actually really good. It's just his brother that.
There's
that-
the other guy. I
you didn't
really
want to
wanted
take
to
BJ? You don't want to take
DJ
BJ?
Upton, man.
There's
Yeah,
another
okay.
guy I really wanted to take, but
right,
but
Chase.
Chase, go with your pick.
Throwback
I
to when
filled
the
out my
Upton
team.
brothers went back to back to walk off the Cubs.
All right, Chase, filling out
The
the
only
rest.
highlight BJ's ever
I
had
feel
in his
like
career.
this is
by
our
the way.
last. This is the last position we need
Yep.
for our team. So
Yep.
go ahead and pick the last
Hey.
last person for your team, Chase.
While since we're talking about the 2010 era Atlanta Braves, I'm gonna continue that trend. For my shortstop, give me the defensive beast, Angelton Simmons.
Oh, I like that. pick.
Defensive gem. It's just you're really taking a hit offensively.
Yeah,
I am,
that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
He was kind of like this 3rd year, 4th year with the Braves.
Hey, do you know who's
for his
another good one you
defense,
could have
though,
gone with?
All right, Andrew.
I just want to say this. Another one you could have gone with. Do y'all remember Elvis Andrus?
He's on
Elvis
my
Andrus?
board.
Yeah.
He's on
Do
my
y'all
board.
know he still plays?
In
What?
my opinion, he never reached like he had a potential for to be star status, and I don't think he ever reached that peak.
That's
I'm happy with Angelton Simmons.
So this is a guy that I wanted, Jackson. I'm putting him in my left field. Brett Gardner.
That's not
Hmm.
who. That's
All
not who
right.
I was gonna go.
He
Then let's
wasn't. He
go ahead
wasn't on
and
my
finish
board.
Do
this
you want
off.
to? Do you want to?
Do you guys real quick before we discuss our teams? Do you guys want to take a guess on who I'm taking at catcher?
Yes. Can I guess?
Jonathan DeCoy.
That's what I was gonna guess. But if it's
2010s catcher. Let's just come on. Come on, Chase and Andrew. I'm looking at you guys.
AJ
McCann?
Krasinski.
Tyler Flowers.
Hey,
Brian McCann.
Brian McCann.
Brian McCann.
Brian McCann
Brian
is
B-Mac.
actually a great pick.
B-Mac, baby. B-Mac.
I'm finishing it off with Mr. Brian McCann.
What an ending. What a way
like
to end this
the
off.
beginning of the 2010s, he was with the Braves, and then he went to the I believe it was the White Sox. Finished it off with a World Series run against the Astros under
Yeah.
questionable circumstances, but still got a ring.
Has a ring on his finger.
finished it off in 2019, which was actually a really good year for him. That 2019 break.
Yeah, it was a really good year.
Had a couple interesting walk-offs.
So yeah, that finishes
Yeah, he
off.
did good work.
I am actually very happy with how my team turned out.
Do you want to know who that outfielder I was thinking of?
Was it Lorenzo Cain?
No, it was Carlos Gonzalez.
Wasn't on my board.
Hey,
You know,
So-
who's another outfielder that I feel like, he had a couple of great years in 2010s. Dude, Charlie Blackmon, if he was
Ooh,
Charlie Blackmon,
that
man.
dude,
he's still going strong in Colorado right now, man.
Definition of loyalty,
God bless
man.
him. Georgia Tech.
Hey, so would it be easier if we just go one person at a time? They just break down their team and we all break it down together.
Yeah,
I
so
was gonna
let's just
post
go
this
ahead
on
and,
Instagram afterwards.
real quick, let's just all go through our teams and then and then let's just leave it there and then
Hey,
we'll post it
y'all
on
don't-
who has the
Yeah.
best team.
Yeah, y'all don't forget to vote on Instagram. That'd be
I'm gonna
posted
go
soon.
ahead and read off my team. Just real quick. So basically, how it is like we have one starting pitcher and one DH, and then the rest are just the position players.
Hold on, am I allowed to replace one of my outfielders?
No,
Jackson,
no.
shut up.
Nope, you drafted him.
Shut up, let
This
me
is
talk.
it.
You drafted him.
This is it.
So, all right. So filling out my outfield, it ended up being Bryce Harper, Andrew McCutchen,
Ooh.
Adam Jones.
Mm.
Great. Dude, in their prime, that is a solid outfield.
Love the outfield. Love
Right.
the outfield.
Infield, we're talking Nolan Arenado, we're talking Carlos Correa, Dustin Pedroia, and Paul Goldschmidt.
Mhm.
Very solid infield, and again, you're talking a lot of offensive numbers. Great defensively.
I was gonna say that's a good
Really?
defensive infield.
A lot of Gold Glovers in your infield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. My starting pitcher, Max Scherzer. Come on, dude. Come on,
Gotta love him.
dude.
Who
Gotta
all
love him.
remembers his 20 strikeout game?
Like, dude, we're talking like he was able to get to the big, the big games, like in the World Series of the Nationals.
Yep.
He was able to get
The
2019.
incredible
get some
run.
big moments. And
Yeah.
then my DH god, Prince Fielder, pulling him. Love that. And then finish it off with the catcher, Mr. Brian McCann. That's just a soul pit. Like, bro, that's a right to the heart, man. I grew up watching Brian McCann. So
Hey,
solid
man.
for me. I feel like that's a solid lineup there. Lots of offensive numbers. Great defensively too, man. McCutchen and Bryce Harper and Adam Jones being in the outfield, like that team is just stacked defensively. It's ridiculous.
I was gonna say I really love your team for its defense. Like you obviously you have great batting, but your defense solely just like marks that team for me.
Hey, if I going up against your team is like Jackson going up to a female, gets all nervous, a lot of threats there. But
Lots of brick walls, like lots of hurdles that you're not going to be able to get past.
right. Anyways, I'm gonna forward
Jackson's
this over
fine,
to
man.
me now. All right, so I am going to start with my outfield. I'll do the same thing that you did. My outfield, obviously, starting off in my center field, the best player of the 2010s decade, in my opinion, Mike Trout, multi-time MVP. 2019, I think was his most recent one, if I'm not mistaken. Jason Hayward, gotta love his time with the Braves. That was a little bit of a personal pick, but I still think it works in the system. And then give me Brett Gardner, my last overall pick. Going to my infield. Talk about guys that can guard the hot corners. Joey Votto and Josh Donaldson, first and third baseman right there, right off the bat. Josh Donaldson, a multi-time Gold Glover, can slug the ball as well. The bringer of rain, like Chase mentioned. Jose Altuve, he's had so much success, not even in the regular season, but one of the best playoff performers, in my opinion. And then,
Especially when he knows what pitch is coming.
Right. Well, true. But then you got catcher Yadier Molina. Jackson, again, I apologize for
Hey,
know.
I'm okay. I'm okay with Russell Martin.
yeah, he's good. And then, of course,
would have literally cut off your a finger to get Yadier Molina. Don't even.
I don't think
So
you
my
want to say
catcher,
finger,
my
but-
catchers was either gonna be Russell. Well, where I was at was either Russell Martin or Salvador Perez.
Well, I was nobody talking about Jonathan Lucroy. He was a really slept on pitcher in that era.
He was on my board.
Catcher.
He was at the bottom of my board, but he was there.
Right.
But then, then shortstop, that's a position I forgot. Francisco Lindor, again, taking his time to Cleveland. Gosh, even in their World Series run against the Cubs in 2016, man, that dude was a stud, especially in that division series I think it was a conference championship actually against the Dodgers. But anyways, throwing him the ball, none other than Clayton Kershaw, the most dominant pitcher we saw in the early 2010s era, and then smacking the swamp donkeys at my designated hitter, Nelson Cruz. Nothing wrong with my team at all. A lot of power, a lot of good defense. Very solid. I'm very proud. Very athletic group there.
Chase.
All right. I'm going to go through my team in order, starting at the catcher position. Of course, throwing it back to my Florida State boys who got killed by Duke today, but that's all right. Buster Posey. Then we got, to finish the infield, we got Freddie Freeman at first base, Ian Kinsler at second, Evan Longoria at third, shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. Like Steven said, I take a hit offensively, but one of the best defensive outfielders. Yes, and one of the best
defensive, defensively wise, he's the reason that he's a top 5 shortstop in the 2010s.
Oh, absolutely.
Solely defense.
Arguably the best defensive infield.
You should have gone
defensively during
Alex Rodriguez.
He was on my board, but then in the outfield, I got Carlos Stanton, Miami, all that power, man. Mookie Betts, Christian Yelich, designated hitter. I got Big Papi David Ortiz.
You got 2 former Miami Marlins on that team.
Your outfield, and this is just me speaking without any bias here. Your outfield might be the best.
I personally think so. And the funny thing is, hey, if one of my players go down, throwing Madison Bumgarner at the back.
I will say that
how dangerous he was.
You take away his MVP year. Marlins Yelich was still really good. He's great offensively, but for some reason after that MVP year, Yelich is just regressed, and I don't know if he's ever gotten back to that status.
Well, he's really picked it up this year. He's really picked it up. He's got a 275 right now. Solid numbers.
Before he got injured, but that MVP season alone is kind of the reason I'm leaning towards Christian Yelich.
Right, and it's the reason I was even thinking about picking Cody Bellinger.
Right, absolutely.
You take that MVP and you put that Cody Bellinger on the field. My God.
Exactly. And that's the only version of Christian Yelich I'm focusing on right now. Is solely that MVP season.
Right.
But of course, his years in Miami, he's very solid himself. But Jackson, if you want to go ahead and read off your list and finish this off,
hold on, Chase. Who's your starting pitcher again?
Madison Bumgarner, man.
Oh, that's right. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
are we surprised that Jacob deGrom was not taken, by the way? So that's very surprising to me.
That is crazy.
Well, there was a lot of top pitchers that even Garrett Cole was there.
Yeah, Steven Strasburg.
What takes me off is just, Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
It's at least recently it's like a Mike Trout, can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Zach Greinke was there too. But
the funny thing about
I'm Scherzer though.
Chris Sale was also on the board.
Hey, the funny thing about Jacob deGrom though was you remember how great of a pitcher he was, but it was really unfortunate because he was backed up by a very lackluster offense to the point that he got frustrated.
Yeah.
So,
but
hated to see that wasted talent behind the lackluster bats of New York, but typical.
Also, shout out to David Price. He was also one of my favorites.
Let's go ahead real quick, Jackson. You read off, and then that'll do it.
Yep. So with my lineup, at the corners, I got Adrian Beltre, Hall of Famer. First baseman, Miguel Cabrera, Hall of Famer. Honestly, I could have put him at DH. I really was thinking Prince Fielder, but it's the part of the 2010s part. I more paid attention to him when he was on the Brewers in the
I understand what you're saying.
2000s. So
but think about the early 2010s Prince Fielder.
Yeah, Tigers Prince Fielder was amazing. Second baseman, Robinson Cano was a top 5 second baseman in the 2010s.
Right.
Honestly, even when he went to the Mariners, we all know the PED situation, but he was still an amazing player. Shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki, super slept on. It was between him, Elvis Andrus, Brandon Crawford, guys like that.
I came this close to taking him.
Are we also talking about I don't know about the 2010s era, but are we Josh Hamilton?
Yeah.
Well, he was 2010 to 2013.
Yeah, he had very short prime in the 2010s
in my
era.
opinion, that's the whole thing is the Prince Fielder argument,
Yeah.
And to 2013, Josh Hamilton, that's another thing right there,
Yeah, I guess you could, yeah.
Yeah, we know what happened there. But shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki, great fielding glove. Outfield, Jose Bautista recently had his number retired by the Blue Jays. I'm not borderline Hall of Famer. I'm not sure.
Jose Bautista has that one highlight that is just
Yep, everyone knows what it was.
job in the
Dude.
history of the MLB.
I know
Ryan
there's a
Braun.
punch in May, then knocked out in October, as they
Yeah.
once said.
Hey,
All right, Ryan really
Braun, and I was between three guys for my last outfield pick. It was Justin Upton, Carlos Gonzalez, and I completely forgot. I really wanted to switch him out, but I kind of can't. It's a little too late because we kind of made the rules.
Justin Upton with the Padres moving over to the Braves
and the Tigers too.
Tigers.
Angels.
Yeah.
He wasn't too bad on the Angels.
And Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday was up there for me, and I
Matt Kent, man.
Matt Holliday was up there for me. He was like a 6-time All-Star in the 2010s, and I completely forgot about him. But catcher Russell Martin, he was the third best one on the board. I really want to go Molina, and then DH Edwin Encarnacion just hit bombs out in Toronto, and great pair with Jose Bautista.
You're right.
And my pitcher, Mr. Justin Verlander. So
he was right behind Madison Bumgarner on my list.
3 no-hitters. That's all you need to know about Justin.
CC Sabathia was up there for me too, and forgot about him.
All right.
But that is all that's gonna do with.
Hey, don't
episode
forget,
1.
we're not only posting this on Instagram. There's also gonna be like a question on Spotify underneath the episode that y'all guys can also
on YouTube.
So anybody who
YouTube.
watches, this is a really startup podcast here. The thing is like the biggest thing that we want out of this podcast for anybody that's listening is just we want to have fun. We want to talk shop. That's the biggest thing is we kind of just want to hang out. If anything, we have what we have when it comes to Sports Out of Pocket. Anybody that watches this, please go check out that. It's Wolf Sports Network on YouTube
and Instagram.
And this is just kind of a new thing that all of us are trying out. So I hope you guys ride with us. If you're big baseball fans, this podcast is going to be for you. We're going to be here every week talking baseball, talking shop, talking about the players that are doing well, and talking just everything baseball. So I hope
we'll have some heated debates in some of the episodes as well.
Absolutely. And if you know who we're doing this episode with, Mr. Jackson Vols, he has a lot of interesting takes when it comes to sports. So
stay tuned for we're going to be posting weekly episodes. So
for all your out of pocket fans, just imagine Twin Pits, but all 4 of us.
Chase, I think your mic went out.
The next. So make sure you guys are keeping in touch with that. We're going to be dropping an episode every Monday. We're going to be doing this weekly, and I hope you guys just we're posting this on Spotify. We're going to be posting this. What is it? YouTube.
I'm going to try and post it on YouTube tonight.
But mainly Spotify. Just think about mainly
Spotify. So anybody that's enjoying this, please stay tuned for more episodes coming in the future. And if you have any responses, if you think on who has the better team, who has the better drafting skills, post that on the Spotify. And we love the interaction. Anybody that listens to our podcast, we'd love to interact with people that want to listen to us.
And maybe an interview later this summer.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Bro, the way that Zoom has been treating us, we got to make sure everything's set up first.
Yeah.
We got to learn that. We got to learn the deals before we do the deals. You know.
As we go along, we'll get all the kinks out of the way. This is our debut episode, so we'll fix all the bugs. Hey, Steven, my boy.
Yeah.
All right.
With all that being said, I hope everybody that's listening to this enjoys. Stay tuned for more. And with all that being said, we will see you guys next time.
Ciao.